Welcome, dear followers and non-Arabic speakers, to the MT channel. In this series of videos, I will explain the labor law and all its provisions in English in order to help all non-Arabic speaking workers and employers understand the labor law and protect their interests. These videos will be posted every Friday of every week. I hope you enjoy watching this video. Let's start now.
Labor Law. Part 1. Definitions and General Provisions. Chapter 1. Definitions. Article 1. This law is called the Labor Law. Article 2. The terms, phrases, and words wherever stated in this law shall mean the meaning set forth therein unless the context requires otherwise. Ministry, Ministry of Labor. Minister, Minister of Labor. Labor Office, the administrative body entrusted with the affairs of work in the spatial area determined by a decision of the minister. Employer, any natural or legal person employing one or more workers for remuneration. Employee, any natural person who works for the benefit of an employer under his direction or supervision for a wage, even if he is not under his direct control. Minor, a person who has completed 15 years of age and has not attained the age of 18 years. Work, the effort made in all humanitarian activities, in accordance with a contract of work, written or not written, regardless of their nature or type, whether industrial, commercial, agricultural, technical or otherwise, muscular or mental. The original work, for individuals, the subject of their usual activity, and for the establishments, the works for which the establishment was established and for which it is stipulated in its contract of incorporation or in the concession contract, if it is a concessionaire, or in the commercial register. Temporary work, the work which is inherent in the activity of the employer and requires the nature of the completion of a specific period, or focuses on the work itself and ends with the conclusion, and does not exceed, in both cases, 90 days. Incidental work, work which does not, by its nature, involve the employer in his normal activity, and whose implementation does not take more than 90 days. Seasonal work, work that takes place in regular periodic seasons. Part-time work, work performed by a part-time worker with an employer and hours of work less than half the normal daily working hours of the establishment, whether the worker performs his hours of work on a daily basis or on certain days of the week. Continuous service, the service of the uninterrupted worker with the same employer or his legal successor, from the date of starting the service, and the service is deemed continuous in the following cases. 1. Holidays and public holidays. 2. Period of interruption for the performance of the examinations as provided for in this law. 3. Absence of the worker from his work without pay, which does not exceed 20 days intermittent during the working year. Basic wage, all that is given to a worker in return for his work, under a contract of work written or not written, whatever the type of pay or method of performance, plus periodic bonuses. The actual wage, the basic wage plus all other accrued increases that are determined for the worker in return for an effort at work, risks to the performance of his work or that are determined for the worker in accordance with the employment contract or the labor regulation. These include 1. Commission, percentage of sales, percentage of profits paid for what is marketed, produced, collected, or increased production or improvement. 2. The allowances the worker is entitled to in return for the effort he or she is doing or the risks to which he or she is liable to when performing his work. 3. Increases that may be granted according to the standard of living or to meet the burden of the family. 4. The grant or bonus is the one given to the worker by the employer, the amount of his trust, the adequacy thereof, and the like, if such grant or remuneration is prescribed in the contract of employment or the organization of the work of the establishment, or workers consider it part of the wage, not a donation. 5. In-kind benefits, the employer is obliged to provide them to the worker in return for his work, as stipulated in the contract of employment or in the regulation of work organization, and is estimated at a maximum equivalent to the basic wage for 2 months for each year, unless it is estimated in the labor contract or regulation of the organization of work more than that. Remuneration, the actual wage. Establishment, each project is managed by a natural or juridical person, employing one or more workers, for remuneration of any kind. Month, 30 days unless otherwise provided in the contract of employment or in the regulation of work. The regulations, the implementing regulations of this law.
By the end of this video, you should have increased your knowledge of labor law by now, and I hope I explained it to you by the right way. If you have any questions or inquiries, please write to me in the comments, and do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell button so that you will receive all notifications when I publish the next video. Thank you all, and see you soon.